Afraid you will solve the murder.
Yes, their fears are well grounded. I suggest the body be removed. I shall be interested in the results of an autopsy.
Autopsy?
Yes.
But it is obvious that Dixon died of drowning.
Nevertheless, I urge an autopsy. I have good reason.
I shall so instruct the police. They are most cooperative with requests made by the bank.
Good. And as for me, I shall discuss this case with someone well qualified in these matters, Mr. Demetrios.
But he has just attempted to kill you. Now you would walk into his hands.
Physical defeat has never frightened me, sir. It's the danger of mental defeat that lures me to whatever Demetrios has planned. Coming, Watson?
Oh, dazzling crowd, eh, Holmes? Princes, millionaires, cabinet officials, diplomats. See the Indian Rajah in the ruby-trimmed headdress there?
Irrelevant, Watson. We've business with Mr. Demetrios.
The croupier said table 3. Ah, yes. Wouldn't that be he?
Mr. Demetrios.
Good evening, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, I'm complimented that my face is internationally familiar.
I've been expecting you. Shall we step into that private room?
I wouldn't, if I were you, Holmes.
You are upset by something, Dr. Watson?
Yes, I certainly am, sir. If I were you, Holmes,
I accept your invitation, Mr. Demetrios.
Oh, before we step into the room, would you like to hold my gun, Dr. Watson?
Well,
Here. Perhaps it would put you at ease, huh?
by Jove, I will take it.
Excellent. After you, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you.
I shall save a great deal of time for you, Mr. Holmes. I did not kill Leslie Dixon.
Didn't you?
I was in the gambling rooms at the time of his death. For 2 hours previous to that, I enjoyed dinner at the Hotel Maurice. I can produce a dozen witnesses to that effect.
Yes, I'd no doubt you'd have a flawless explanation.
Previous to dinner, I attended a lawn party. Again, as many unimpeachable witnesses as you like.
I see. I'm curious, Mr. Demetrios, about the game you played or the wager you made with Roger Douglas last night. Could it in any way have been connected with the death of Leslie Dixon?
Very directly. I wagered, Mr. Douglas, that I could murder Leslie Dixon in such a way that you, Holmes, would never succeed in proving I had committed the homicide. The sum, £100,000.
Astonishing. Of all the effrontery, throwing the gauntlet in your face, Holmes. Now, really, this...
Very amusing.
Well, there's the motive, Holmes. There's your man.
I see no reason for concealing the wager. Besides, it would be unjust of me to collect. I did not kill Dixon. I intended to, yes, but I was late. I hadn't even started my plans when I had the news of his death.
Hadn't you?
Perhaps it's a move by Roger Douglas. He wanted Dixon to die. He suggested the wager. He might eliminate me that way as a competitor. His own men execute the crime in their own manner, being sure it's done properly. The guilt would seem to be mine. Oh, Mr. Douglas. You know Mr. Holmes, Dr. John Watson.
How do you do? We were discussing the late Mr. Dixon.
Really? I was at the theater when he died.
Can you prove that, sir?
Of course, Dr. Watson. I can prove my whereabouts throughout the entire evening.
I told Mr. Holmes about our wager.
You did?
Why shouldn't I?
Aren't you writing an invitation to the gallows for yourself?
Not at all. Mr. Holmes must produce concrete evidence before I lose. Evidently, he's finding it impossible.
Oh, quite the contrary. We're leaving, Watson.
May I offer my carriage, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you, no. I don't believe it's much of a walk to the morgue.
The morgue, Holmes?
Yes, Watson. If you'll excuse us, gentlemen, I must visit the morgue. The dead, you see, are often more articulate than the living.
Well, there's the body on that slab, Holmes. The police surgeon said you could examine whatever you wished.
Yes. I see they've already performed the autopsy.
Dixon drowned, Holmes. What the dickens are you probing about for? His lungs there show clearly that he was drowned.
Yes. And why did he drown? As I thought.
What'd you see?
I see that I must pay a visit to the late Mr. Dixon's cottage.
Well, Holmes, if you insist upon being secretive...
You, Watson, return to the casino. Keep an eye on Demetrios and his associates. I shall meet you at the casino very shortly with a thorough explanation of the murder and the identity of the killer. Thank you, driver. That was indeed fast enough.
Holmes, I've been waiting for you here on the steps of the casino for 2 hours.